What is going on, guys? It is me, your boy Flash Jones, back again with another video. And in this one, guys, we're gonna have a talk about some locomotives that I just got in. Okay? Alright, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump right on in to this video. Alright, so like I said, guys, got ourselves some locomotives to take a look at. Right now I only got one of them up here, as you guys can see by the packing slip. Got a couple of them, got 4 of them for a total of 920 bucks. Okay, got the BNSF Tier 4 3764, 3797, which is what this one is, 3824, and a 3911. Now, on a side note, I've personally seen, you guys couldn't even see that, sorry. I've personally seen the 3911 at least 3 or 4 times out on the rail. And I definitely had to pick that one up. But nevertheless, I got all 4 of them. Why? Because I'm out of BNSF and because I want some more motors for my what do you call it? For my locomotive roster. I got to build it up for my master dream layout. All that good stuff. You guys know that. Alright, so rearrange the camera. We're going to get set. We're going to open it up, test it out, put it on the track, get a look at it, test out the wheels, make sure they're engaged, and check the coupler height, all that good stuff. Alright, here we go. Alright, guys, like I said, got some motors to take a look at. So we're going to unbox them, take a look at them. Real quick, just so you guys know, there will be no sound check in this video. I do not have a layout in order to test the sounds on locomotives right now. So we're gonna have to just hope and pray that everything works as it should when the time comes and I get my layout back up and I can actually test everything. Time for that might be coming pretty soon. We're going to be moving out of our apartment here into a house, and so then might be able to finagle something with the wife. You guys know how it is. You got to finagle something with the wife to be able to get at least something simple up, something small and simple, just so I can test out locomotives and hear them and give you guys good reviews. But anywho, let's go ahead and get into this thing. We're not going to spend too much time on box. I mean, we've all seen this before. All this typical information. I'll let you guys see it if you want and pause the video, read it for yourself. We're not going to spend too much time on that because we have quite a few motors to take a look at, and I don't want to make this too long, especially considering there's no sound in this video. But like I said, we've all seen the box before. Okay. Okay. Nice looking box. There is tape on both of the bottom sides here, so you got tape. So you get your manual. Okay, it's pretty long and wide one. Opens up like so. Okay. Real quick, I guess we'll look at the functions considering we can't hear them. At least you guys get to see them. So you got your headlight, bell, playable horn, coupler clank, dynamic braking. It's a low idle when it's stopping. F5, which is DP mode lighting. It's a pretty nice feature. So if you're running a locomotive consist that has DP on the rear of the train, you can press F5 and get that rear light to pop up. Sorry, you guys can't even see that. You can get that rear light to pop up without having to reconfigure the CVs. That's a great feature because I've always liked that look, and without having to go in and screw with CVs. That's really not my cup of tea at the moment. Like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to get into all that, but one day we will. F6, you got some different auxiliary functions, mostly probably the ditch lights. F7 is not in use. You got your sound on and off and startup sequence. F9 is a drive hold. I don't have a video of drive hold. There are a couple guys out there that have made reviews on the ESG lock sound decoders with numerous locomotives showing what the drive hold feature is. It's a pretty nice little feature. Essentially, you can looks like a real locomotive in real life. It revs up in order to get the train moving. You can go straight to run 8, so to say, and still be doing 2-3 mile scale mile an hour on your motor. Before, you'd have to literally be speed step 20, 25, 26, etc. to get the sounds to match the speed. Now you can throttle up, so to say, and still have a prototypical speed and so to say sound. One day we'll get to try that out. Obviously we can't do it now, but you got independent brake sound, you got a radiator fan sound, you got your dimmer on your headlight, air dryer on F13, 14 and 15 not used. You got the spitter at shutdown. That's a nice little feature. It's just like a that's pretty much what it sounds like. It's exactly what it says. It's a spitter. What the spitter is there's an air dryer, as there's a feature for it. But the air dryer, it dries out the air, and then the moisture in which it collects, it spits it out, literally. Maybe I could try to get a video of that if I ever get close enough to a locomotive that's idling. I don't really think that'll happen too often, but you know, if that time comes, we'll get that. 17 is the brake set release, so engineer puts a set on a train and it makes a certain sound on the cab. I can't really recreate it. It'll sound silly if I do it. There's also a certain sound when the brakes release, when the engineer releases the air. F18 is a sanding valve. You got your short arrow let off and your compressor. I think it's funny they call this a 28 function decoder, and you only get, so 20, 19, 18, 17. You get 17 sounds. Okay, so starting with the front, guys, you got the 37, 97. You got your PTC antenna array up on top here. Let me see if I can focus in on that. Should be able to get a little better there. Not as good as it's gonna get, but that's all right. You got your PTC antenna array. You got your 37, 97 on the side. You got your sunshades. You got your windows that have a little bit of tint on them, not a whole lot. Of course, the beautiful BNSF orange we got here. We got the yellow striping going along the side. You have your F stencil down in here. You have some label warnings here. You have the ET44C4. I explained what the C4 truck meant in a previous video. I can lower this and get a little, so you guys can get a better look at those trucks. All the detail down in here. Let me see if I can do it like that. So you C4 truck, you got your piston actuator that'll raise up this center wheel, which doesn't have a traction motor in the real life on the prototype. Got your air cylinders here on either end. You got an air line running to and from. It's pretty nice, great detail down in here. Moving along the side a little bit. Got your fuel tank, 5500. It's actually a 5300. 5,300 gallon fuel tank. I know people call it a 55. It's actually a 53. Fuel sight glass, fuel hatch. That actually might be the fuel hatch. I can't see what that is down in there. But you got your emergency shut-off valve. Got some more details. I'll turn this puppy over when I get the whole motor looked at, and we'll look at some of the detail that's running right under the walkway platform. There's actually pretty much a good amount of detail down in there. But you got fuel hatch, fuel fill hatch right there. Oh, that's just a lug nut. But fuel hatch is right there on either side. Okay, pulling it down a little bit, and actually let's go back to the middle. We'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, like I said, you got the beautiful BNSF right here, beautiful orange, black and yellow. Horn on top, you can see it there. We'll take a look at the exhaust well when we get her flipped around and flipped over. And but yeah, you got your compartments. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So they do kind of have it. It's all molded, obviously, but it gives the effect. You guys can see it really well on the camera. That the door, it simulates the effect of there being doors there, as there are on the prototype. You have your your water sight glass right here on the side. It's a good touch because that's there on the prototype. Okay, looking here towards the rear. Okay, you got your radiator fans up on top. You got your 4 radiator fans along the side, or radiator fan grills. I'm sorry, radiator fan grills on top and on the side. Your typical 4. I've always looked at these 4, and that's what always told me that this was a tier 4 motor. I don't know if they did that intentionally because it's a tier 4 motor. I think they did, but you know, they probably did it. Okay, back on the back, you got your brake wheel. You got some nice X bracing that's actually very, very visible, and it's quite a lovely sight to see. I know on the camera you guys can pick that up a whole lot better. Let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. So it's got some nice X bracing, and I can actually get this guy a little closer. Yeah. So check out that X bracing, guys. It is quite remarkable, I must say, and it gives so much realism to it. I can't. Maybe I'll try to get some pictures, some close-ups of the brake roll area. But since you got your brake wheel here, on the prototype, there's a start and stop button, so to say. This is an automatic handbrake. On all the newer motors are automatics, meaning you don't have to come here and physically tighten the wheel. You can press a button and it'll tighten up the handbrake chain and put the handbrake on the locomotive for you. But I mean, wow, just the X bracing back here, guys, it's pretty beautiful. Coming down a little bit, looking at the truck, you got some more of that same truck detail that we saw on the front conductor side here. You got a brake chain that's not metal, it's plastic, and I imagine it's probably very fragile. But you got some good detail down in here. You got some electrical lines running in. Like I said, we'll flip this guy over and we'll take a look at it. Something else that I don't think any modeler has ever mentioned, but you got your retention tank right here. Okay, if you can see this little black deal I got. Got your retention tank, and right here, I'll call it an angle cock, which is what lets the air out of an air hose into another car. But there's an angle cock that's right on top of this guy. You can't see it because it's obviously too small and not there. But there's an angle cock that you would open and it would literally drain all the crap from the locomotive, being oil, so wasted oil, wasted coolant, wasted water, anything that happened to get down into the locomotive from rain or just from normal wear and tear use of the motor. It would fill up in this retention tank, and you'd open this angle cock and it would literally dump all out everywhere. I've been told that it's a pretty disgusting smell, but nevertheless, it's a locomotive. It's going to produce waste. But just again, guys, all this detail down here, it is quite amazing. The amount of detail that's actually down here on this locomotive. Like I said, you do have the brake chain and some electrical lines that are running up under the walkway, and we'll take a look at that. It's pretty amazing, guys. It really is. Okay, take a look at the rear. There we go. I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we got the rear. You got rear headlight. We got the 3797 painted there on the top. Okay, you got your vertical handrails on either side of the rear of the locomotive. You got your handrail stanchions so you can climb up the stairs, and the chain that's not real, but your stanchions going across the rear of the motor. You got your MU cable here with your hot and cold sides. White is cold, red is hot. Obviously, it's not hooked into the red. You have your replacement knuckle couplers down here. You have your E and your F, if I'm not mistaken. That might be F, that might be E, but nevertheless, they're there. You have a, I think this is SCALETRAINS' proprietary coupler. I don't know why people think that they have to have proprietary couplers when Katie makes a pretty damn good coupler. Anywho, you got their coupler there. You got your MU cables. You have your main reservoir, your actuating, and your apply and release, which is A and R. All three of those guys down here, and you might be able to see it. I know it's pretty dim down there. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You got all three of these guys down here, silver tipped ends, as well as your brake pipe. Okay, brake pipe air hose. Sorry, right here, silver tipped as well. And then of course the other three, you guys can kind of see them. It's kind of dark down in there, but your other three, what do you call them? MU cables, A&R, main res, and actuating lines. And like I said, headlight. You got your sand filler hatch right there. You fill it up with sand so the rear trucks can have sand available to them. So once again, we have some more of that X bracing back there inside the radiator section. Some more of that great detail up in there. Okay, you got your 4 radiator grills there, and radiator grills on top, of course. Like I said, same thing as we mentioned on the conductor side of the locomotive. A lot of great detail down in here. It really is, guys. Just a lot of awesome little details that they decided to add onto this locomotive. and it really is beautiful. It really is. So you got the same truck detail. You have some more lines and whatnot running up under there. You guys, you can kind of see that from the angle in which I'm holding it. Look at all that detail that is tucked in and buried under this walkway. I mean, you know, $225 is, you know, it's pretty expensive for a motor, but it's kind of hard to complain when you're getting this level of detail and this amount of realism on a locomotive. I'd still like the price to be closer to 175, in between 175 and 200. I would say it's probably the most comfortable, like kind of how they did their first run, but they got a little cocky and they made this run to be 225, whatever. But I mean, guys, just look at all that detail. Again, air cylinder. You got your air cylinders for your actuator to raise up this center wheel here. You got all this detail up under here, and you have some electrical components here that help regulate air on the main reservoir and pumping of the train. It really is remarkable, guys. I'm too far back from the camera to see what these labels are saying, but if I can, I'll try to get close up on them with the camera, let you guys see it. It really is awesome, the amount of detail that is on this motor. Moving it up a little bit, and actually we'll bring it back to the back real quick again. As we just said, got some of that great detail and that X bracing back there. You can see all along the side of this motor the simulation of the panel doors on the side of the motor, and it really is just remarkable. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see everything a little bit better in greater detail. Okay, it really is just a really gorgeous locomotive. Okay, now we're going to take a look here at the middle of the motor. Okay, and we'll move it back. Look at all this detail that we have on the engineer's side where the main reservoir air tanks are. So you have both your main res tanks here. Okay, and remember that air dryer and the air spitter valve that we were talking about when we were looking at the list for the functions? So on locomotives, all of this doodad, all this jazz that's going on right in here that you can clearly see, all of this detail, there's a spitter valve that's in here, not a spitter, more of a, yeah, you can call it a spitter. Every now and then it'll just dump a short amount of air, which has most of the moisture in it. It'll just spit it right out in one like big giant breath type deal. I know it sounds weird, guys, but that's really what it sounds like. Guys who've been up close on motors know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a and that's exactly what it sounds like. And I'll tell you what, it's so freaking loud that it will scare the hell out of you if you're walking by it and you don't have like hearing protection on. Got me one time. There was a locomotive stop. I was doing a rail fan video and I got up closer up on it and I damn near pissed my pants when that thing spit. I was like, oh my god. Anywho, got to keep my manhood. Alright, we got a fuel hatch on this side. We have another fuel hatch on the other side there. Got your fuel sight glass there. Right, yeah, fuel sight glass. Emergency shut off, fuel hatch right there. But, I mean, guys, just the amount of detail that is present on this motor. And again, you have that same detail running under the walkway here. And it's just remarkable, guys. It really is. I would imagine, I'm not a big weathering guy, a big weathering buff myself, but a motor like this, a little light weathering, I think it'd make a gorgeous locomotive. It add to a gorgeous locomotive, I should say. Okay, moving it up a little bit to the trucks on the hogger side. Okay, we have some more detail. The same detail that we saw on the conductor side, and the same detail that we saw on the rear of the engineer side. Okay, and guys, just, I mean, all I can say is feast your eyes and just admire, respect, and fully embrace the amount of detail that is placed on this locomotive. This is a message to every manufacturer not named SCALETRAINS. Step your freaking game up. For real. Step your game up. I don't know what your problems are, thinking you're gonna keep charging me $200 and some odd dollars, especially Athens, $250 for a motor, and it doesn't have this much detail on it. Stop. Nevertheless. Okay, guys, stand by. That's the life. I gotta answer that or I might die. Hello? What's up, sexy? I want some auntie ants. Yeah, bring me back some, yo. I want some auntie ants. But you called me at a bad time. You called me at a bad time. Because I'm recording a video for my followers on YouTube, and you're kind of disrupting the flow of our gig, so to say. And I don't think they appreciate that too much. You want to say hi? I'm gonna put you on speaker. You want to say hi? You don't want to say hi? Okay. It's kind of mean. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I was the boss calling. Wife. Guys, you're married. You know that's the boss. You might be the head of the household. That's the boss, though. Nevertheless, back to looking at this motor. I forgot what I was even saying before I took that phone call. But essentially, this is a gorgeous locomotive, guys. Again, up here on the engineer's side, you got the 3797, beautiful orange back here, some yellow and black, yellow reflective striping. On a side note, why do we have reflective striping that is not reflective? Somebody please tell me that. Like, why do we have reflective striping if it ain't reflective? Anywho, that's another day for my rant videos. But you have your, ooh, that's nice. Can you hear that? Have your treaded walkway. Sorry guys, camera cut out of me because I guess I reached the maximum record time on my new camera. Anywho, you got your treaded walkway here, so the crew doesn't fall when it gets snowy and iced out. Okay, like I said, 3797. You can see again the PTC antenna array. You have your windows here. They have some nice shade on them, or some nice tint on them. Window shade here. You have your mirror. And then, guys, I don't know if you can see it, but there's another mirror right here. And what that mirror does is, so when the engineer's running, if it's freezing cold or so hot outside that he doesn't want to have his window open and see his conductor or whoever it is helping him on the steps, he can arrange this mirror so that he can see the reflection from this mirror into this mirror and see his conductor standing on the step, so that they can make moves or do whatever switching power that they need to do. And it's pretty neat to see it in operation. You conductors down here making hand signs or whatever have you, and the engineer's got the window closed. Like, how the heck can he see that guy? Well, there's a mirror here, and it's a mirror here, and the bing bang kind of reflection deal. Boom, 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 boom. To let him see the conductor, brakeman, or whomever. But yeah, so real quick, take a look at the front. Oh yeah, check that out. Check you out, gorgeous. How you doing? Okay, so down here at the very bottom of her, okay, got your proprietary SCALETRAINS coupler. Okay, you got your MU cables down here. You got your, as we said before, your actuating your apply and release, and your main res. You have your coupler and the other three on the other side. You have your MU cable here, so you can MU locomotives together, hot and cold. It's hooked into the cold right now. Red's for hot. You got your ditch lights. Okay, I imagine they work. Hopefully hopefully they work when I get the chance to test them out. You got your stanchions on either side. Coupler uncoupling lever, which is the same one there. I forgot to mention that, but you have your coupling uncoupling lever. You have some handrails going up the nose here. Okay, it's nice. You have your door that actually has a door handle. I don't know if you can see that, and it has a door window. That's nice too. And you have a headlight, of course. You can't really, you can actually see it on there. You have your lock. So this locomotive happened to be set out somewhere on the main line or somewhere in a siding, not inside of a yard. The crew with a special key would lock up this lock so that you couldn't open the door. And the same thing for the rear on the engineer side, so that no one can get into the locomotive cab and go have fun, I guess. Okay, like I said, you have your headlight there. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit more since we're coming up. Okay. Okay, got your handrail ladder stanchions. No stanchions. Handrails. So maintenance or whomever can climb up on the locomotive nose and do what they need to do. Have a handrail ladder step right there, and another stanchion on the other side there, going off right in there. Okay. You have some sand filler hatches on either side of the nose here. You have some more grab irons. That's what I was looking for, grab irons. You have some more grab irons here running across the nose. So once again, if mechanical personnel are up on top of this motor, they can somehow do it safely. I was told that on this area, it is treaded, just how the walkway is treaded. Most manufacturers really wouldn't know that, but this area is treaded because why else would there be handrails up here if no one was getting up here ever? So it is treaded up here so that, you know, mechanical personnel can clean the windows on these locomotives. Well, so it's treaded. You guys can see it. Again, like I said, there's handrails here. There's a handrail right on top of, right above the number light. Okay, I'm trying to get under it with my little deal. There's a handrail right there, and that's again so that when people are up on the nose, they can have something to hold on to, make them safe. And of course, the handrail going across the tops of the windows so they can grab onto that and keep themselves safe. Once again, you see the PTC antenna array up on top. That's pretty much it for the front of the motor, guys. Can't see it now, but the yellow seal stripe on the right above the anti-climber on the anti-climber, I guess, got the yellow seal stripe there. But yeah, you guys can kind of see into the cab. It appears to be an outward facing camera right there, and you have your windshield wipers going across the windows so that you know you can see when it's raining out. So you have some of your detail up on top here now. A better look at that PTC antenna array that we were talking about. Okay, working our way back, you have some warning labels and whatnot, some faux lift rings that aren't standing up, so to say. Compartment door here, you have your horn here in the middle, and from the feels of it, this comes off. I'm not sure. I don't want to play with it. Nah, I can play with it. All right, like I said, you have your horn here in the middle. Have your exhaust stack back here, and I don't know why I didn't want to focus. It's a little better, maybe not. Nevertheless, got your exhaust. Okay. Looking at the back, it's a better look at some of that Radiator Fan Grille detail here up on top. And they're very nicely done here by SCALETRAINS. It is raised, maybe just a touch. I'm not 100% sure on that. But you have your tread, as you can hear, so that maintenance crews can walk on top of the motor and you know, have something grip light to keep it from slipping and falling. I think locomotives are somewhere in the ballpark of like 15 to 25 feet up off the rail if you're standing up here, so it'd be a pretty hard fall to ballast, which is rocks, which would hurt. Anywho, got that back here. There we go. You can kind of make out some of that detail that's down in there. New cameras, guys. I gotta figure out what makes it so picky. Obviously being close isn't working, but I'll get some pictures of it, guys, so that you can see it. It really is quite a bit of detail that's down in there. That's a little better. There we go. You can see all that. Let me pick up my little deal. I dropped it. Check out all this detail hanging out here up under the walkway. It really is just remarkable, the amount of detail that they put on this motor. Here's a better look at that retention tank. You can see that it is, so to say, a separate piece. It may not be molded. It might be molded together, but in the real world, these are two separate pieces, and you have plumbing going to and from. it's awesome, guys. It really is. I mean, just look at all this detail that's up under here. All back up in here. And it continues to run all the way up to the front of the motor. And I'll show you that now. Yep. I don't think I'll ever be taking this motor apart, and I'll probably damage every single small little piece that's up under there. Alright, next. This is the other side, the conductor side. Looking at some of that same detail here. Okay, better close up on the chain here. And some more of these lines that are running to and from the trucks and running up under the walkway. It really is beautiful, guys. Just I'm not going to talk much, just let you take a look. Oh my God, they even added that. Wow. I didn't recognize this first. I didn't catch it. Can you guys see that? This little guy right here. Okay, approximately right here. It's in front of the conductor's desk and seat. So the conductor sits right about here. Can't see that. Conductor sits right about here. Okay, as you guys can see, kind of from the inside of the cab. Right about here, there's a toilet. Okay, and it's not a normal toilet like a bathroom toilet where you press a button and it drains water. You literally go in there and do your business, and it's like a porta potty. And the way that you drain the porta potty is through this little guy right here. Can you see it? That's why it's just a hole. Mechanical personnel will come up to it, hook up a hose to it. They'll go inside the locomotive cab, pull a lever. It'll then drain and dump all that crap literally out from the motor into a tank, and where it can be disposed of safely. But I thought I should mention that because, like I said, I didn't even catch that until just now. One thing to mention: rotating bearing caps on this motor. You have your E-bell. Didn't mention that, but you got your E-bell right there. You got your sand filler or sanding lines here in the front as well. Let's just pop her right over and just take a look at the bottom of her. Got some, you can see some of the wires down in there. That stuff doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some of you guys, but it doesn't bother me. You got your screw to let out the coupler, and I imagine to get the shell off. Going back here, got your standard 5300 fuel tank with a screw, which is a nice weight. Here's more of that fuel, what is it, the retention tank detail with that angled cock and kind of a little lever there. Some more look at the trucks here. Just another look at maybe some of that detail up under there. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I am going to take out the other motors so we can look at them, but not for the purpose of necessarily reviewing them in the way that I've just reviewed this motor. We're just going to pretty much take them out of the boxes, zoom in and get a look at them. You guys can see it as well. Maybe not the best angle. That's a little better. But looks to be dead on. Let me get on level with it. Looks like the coupler is just a touch low. I mean, just a touch. You guys obviously can't tell. You might be able to on the camera, but the camera is not eye level with it. I mean, I guess I can do that, but just take my word for it. It's just barely a touch, and I know that's not a good word to describe measurements, but what's less than a millimeter, a decimeter? I don't know. I'm not going to get too specific with it, but it's just literally just a hair below the KD coupler here. Now we're going to check the front. You guys can see what I'm doing here. get eye level with it and check this one out. And that one's actually dead on. Yeah, front's dead on. Dead on. And the rear is just a touch low. I mean, literally a touch. I don't even think you'll notice it too much. Okay, now we're just gonna. Alright. That wasn't cool. Now we're just gonna check out. It's alright. Check out the wheel sets, make sure we're in compliance here. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Yep. That one's good. And that one's good as well. Okay. Last thing that we're going to do with this motor, so you guys can see it, we're going to weigh it. Wow. So this guy comes in at 1 pound and 8.6 ounces. We'll cycle through them. That's 698 grams. 1 pound and 1.5 pounds, so 1.535 pounds. 24.6 ounces. And once again, 1 pound, 8.6 ounces. So whatever you do, whatever your measurements of scale is, that's the weight of this motor. All right, so now we got the BNSF 3824. We're just gonna do a quick run around on it, let you guys take a look at it. Got your radiator fan sections right up in there. You can actually see the fan housing, so to say, and clear through to the other side, plus the X bracing, guys. Check that out. More of that same detail we had back here. No cab figures. Ghost train. Back to the front. Got some tread, discoloration that gives you the appearance of there being tread there on the top. Looks at the bottom. So next, you better focus, camera. There we go. 3764. Okay. Lots of that same old detail, guys. Like I said, we're just running through it, taking a quick inspection of it for video purposes so that I can come back and look at them if I need to. Heck, sometimes I'll just watch my own videos just because I miss my own trains. Oh, don't judge me. I know it's kind of weird. Maybe not. We all love trains, so I'm sure you guys understand. Got the front of her here. Come on, camera. Too close. I got you. Got all that same good old detail on this one as well. Check out the conductor side. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous locomotive. Check out the engineer side now. Don't worry, guys, I will get up close pictures of all this detail on this camera. Just to throw it out there, I'll take a picture of it and show you guys to you on the video. But the camera that I'm using, it's a Canon EOS M50. Camera cost about, what was it, like $600 or $700 we paid for it. It's a nice camera. It definitely gets all the good details in there. It's just a little picky about focusing and getting too close. This camera is really good for taking like family photos and whatnot. I do have a shotgun mic on the top. Obviously, it doesn't really make a big difference when it comes to me talking, but it does provide clearer sound. So when the time comes and we do wow, and we have a layout in order to test out the sounds, it's going to be remarkable. The way that everything's going to sound. If I ever go out and get some real fanning done, which I actually kind of plan to here pretty soon, I'll definitely have the shotgun mic on. I might have to get a wind protector for it, so we can pick up all these lovely, great sounds that these trains put out. Top. PTC. On a side note, guys, I know everyone, we get these locomotives and we're all excited to have PTC. One thing I will tell you now, I know this for a fact, the Class 1 railroads being BNSF, UP, NS, CSX, mainly BNSF, they're the ones leading it because they're the leaders in PTC. They want PTC to take the place of the conductor. And so they want to fire the conductor and make the PTC be the new conductor, which will essentially cut probably 20 to 30, probably close to 50,000 conductors across the country. Literally, and I'm not joking. Carl Ice is the president for BNSF at the moment. I know Warren Buffett's the owner, but Carl Ice is in charge. He's already said, and all these wheel sets are good, by the way, that through the use of PTC, they want to make PTC the new conductor and fire every single one of the conductors. I have friends who work for the railroad, and I believe it when they say that the train is a lot safer, and these laws are in compliance too. The trains are a lot safer when there are two people on the cab, calling the shots and doing what needs to be done. I mean, they did it back in the day. I'm sure you guys know there used to be brakemen on every train. Guess what? There's no more brakemen. They only call brakemen when they need them. And to get rid of a conductor, the person who's in charge of the train supervises the operation of the train, makes sure that the train gets from point A to point B safely. For the railroad to say, screw every last one of you guys, we're going to fire you, and you guys are not going to have a job. That's pretty unsafe, to say the least. Not only is it disrespectful and ballsy, but it's flat out unsafe. And for anyone who thinks that it's not, if you were to get on a major aircraft and they said, hey, we're only going to have one pilot up here. If he falls asleep, he falls asleep. If you die, you die. I bet you wouldn't feel too happy about that. Well, it's the same thing with trains. Trains haul some of the most dangerous stuff on the planet. It's not advertised. And that coupler is a hair low on the back. And it's not advertised, but how do you think, I mean, if you think about it from a perspective of Walthers and all these manufacturers have these types of rolling stock that haul special materials. Well, how do you think it's getting from point A to point B? If we're making it in model scale, obviously it's been made in real life, prototypical scale, and it's low on the front as well. If we're making it for for models, then clearly they have it on the prototype. And BNSF thinks that they don't need conductors anymore, and I 100% disagree with them. This motor comes in at 1 pound 8.9 ounces, 708 grams, 1 pound 1.560 pounds, 24.9 ounces, and 1.89 1 pound. I'm sorry, 1 pound 8.9. Like I said, lastly but not least, got the last beautiful locomotive that I purchased, the BNSF 3911. On a side note, guys, if the wife gives me the A-OK, it is possible that I will be possibly buying some more Tier 4 Gevos. Don't think it'll happen though. I just spent $600 on some more rolling stock. One of them she knew about, the second one she didn't really know about. Don't tell on me. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to buy any more Tier 4 Gevos. I think I got enough for now. I won't do a locomotive roster update. Saying so after this video, I won't do one unless I really get a lot of requests for it, which I don't really think I will, just because I just kind of did one. As close to the time came when I tore down my last layout. I don't think I'll get requests for that right now. I mean, I've only added these 4 motors since then. If I get any more, you know, if work continues to be as steady as it is and money continues to come in and we continue to pad the savings and pad our bank accounts, then we will for sure. It'll be a topic up for discussion in the household. And we'll see what Mama says. Because what Mama says, I can try to argue it. But you guys understand, happy wife, happy life. I told her one time, I'm not sleeping on no couch. I don't do that. I don't care how mad we are. I ain't sleeping on no couch. But anywho, we're gonna try to. Ooh, can you see that? I just noticed that. Can you guys see the orange back up in there? On the, I apologize to you guys. I didn't even mention this in the last 3 motors. You got your dynamic brake housing area right in here. You got your grills, and I would imagine that's the fan. Let me see if I can get an angle so you guys can see it. Can you see that orange that's up in there? I will definitely try to get some great pictures of this motor. But there definitely is, a grill here, a mesh grill with some orange behind it, and this is the area which your dynamic braking will be at. That's awesome. Wow, I can't believe I missed that on the other motives. I'm trying to, and it sure is on the other motor. I'm looking at it now. It sure heck is on those other motors. It sure is. Wow. Oh, one on a side note, handrails on all of them are straight. I didn't mention it, but that's something I look at. But once again, it's the same detail as on the other 3 motors. Take a look at the top here. Wow, I just can't believe I missed that. Look at that. Right on. That's nice. Quick look at the bottom here. Nothing really much to see, but once again, that great detail. I'm sorry, guys. I am, like, I feel like I'm a kid at a candy store and I'm just drooling over all this awesome detail. So, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'm sure you can probably see these motors here in the background here. Gonna get some pictures of them. Gonna put them all together, so to say. And we're gonna just take a look at them. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. It might be a little long. I'm gonna try to trim it down, of course, make it a little shorter. But this is the second run of the SCALETRAINS Tier 4 Gevo. I hope you guys enjoyed the way these guys look, because they are probably the best looking locomotives I think I've probably ever seen with my own eyes. I still need to check out Intermountains and Motors, but I just wanted to get something that I knew that I would 100% like, considering I don't have a layout to test it on. SCALETRAINS has a good reputation right now with me. Intermountain kind of had one hiccup. I had ordered a motor from them, and it was a sound motor, but the motor they sent me was not a sound motor. So yeah, I mean, that kind of shakes my confidence in sometimes with these manufacturers. Nevertheless, what was I gonna say? I was about to get these guys, but I will take a picture of them. Hey, multiple pictures of these guys together, so you guys can see them and just fall in love with them just as much as I am. But till next time, guys, you guys take it easy out there. Be fun, or be safe. Sorry, be safe out there. Do you have fun? Run trains, man. Please run those trains. I love to go on YouTube. I tell you guys all the time, I love to go on YouTube and see you guys running trains and just looking at train videos, layout clubs doing videos, going out and seeing model railroad shows, rolling stock reviews, locomotive reviews. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I respect and love a lot of what I don't love, so to say. I mean, in meanings of, I'm not a steam guy, but I like to see steam. You know, I may not like certain rolling stock, but I like to see you guys review it. I like to see that the information is being put out there. It gives me something to do when I'm bored sometimes, you know. Go on YouTube and see, you know, something that you never know. I might just decide one day I want to get that car for my layout. I want to get a set of them. I mean, as you guys see, I had the funds to purchase 4 motors. I got $600 worth of rolling stock coming in, and I got a $1,000 back order on some box cars. So you guys never know what people might want until the information is put out there. So all I ask is that you guys just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't be afraid. You know, I screw up sometimes. Heck, I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right. I was shaky with the camera. I missed some details here. It's all a learning experience, and guess what? It's all in fun. So that's why I always tell you guys, man, have fun. No matter, people want to be negative, let them be their little negative Nancy self. Don't bother. Don't give them any mind. Have fun. You gotta have fun. The hobby is not going to be the same if we're not having fun. So till next time, guys, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. But until next time, have fun out there. Be safe. It's your boy Flash Jones. I'm out. Deuces.